Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's a busy day here in the garage. I've been working on my VW T5 van, changing the rear suspension over. So while I'm waiting for the new shock absorbers to arrive, I thought why not crack on with putting the Carplay system in my Porsche 911 991 Carrera S. I'm using the Isudar version, which costs about £280 from Amazon. I'll pop the link in the description below this video, and it works on the PCM 3.1 units. Now, you might remember on one of my previous videos I'd done the Ersin install on the Cayman 981. I've been having a few issues with that. It keeps dying on me, so I'm currently in communication with the manufacturer and hopefully getting a replacement sent out. But for that reason, I just don't want to buy another one of those units, put it into this car and find out it's going to stop working. So I thought I'd go down a completely different route with the Isudar. And the beauty of this kit is that it utilizes the original equipment. So what you need to do is you need to remove the PCM 3.1 from the car, and you need to install a new PCB, so circuit board, change around some ribbons and some cables. It's not as hard as it sounds, but we'll crack on with this, and hopefully by the end of the video we should have a CarPlay system integrated within the factory head unit of the vehicle. So like I say, it works on PCM 3.1 vehicles. So let's crack on with this one. I'll pop the link in the description, as I said. Let's crack on with this one and we'll get the factory PCM removed first of all. So the first thing we need to do is remove these side panels, and they are pretty easy. It might help if you have some sort of prizing tool that you can kind of squeeze in, and then they should just pop out. They're held in with like little clips, but you'll see it's just kind of popping out, and then you can eventually pull it out just like that. So we need to do that for both sides. Then we can just put those to one side. Then we've got 4 Torx screws, one there, there, there and there. They all need to be removed using a T25. So once we've got all 4 of those screws out, you should just be able to start pulling this out. But what you'll probably find is that the gear selector is in the way. So what you can do is, if you have the key handy, you can turn the ignition on.
Holidays.
Turn that off. Move the gear selector down into the drive position. I'll just turn my heaters off, things like that. And it gives you a little bit more clearance, although the unit will be on at this stage. And then it just gives you the opportunity to get to the back end of all of the connections. So you can see here, all of these connections need to be undone, and then we can completely remove this. And I'd probably recommend putting something like a towel here just to protect it, just to give it that little bit more safety when you're pulling everything out. Yeah, this last pink one was bizarrely difficult to remove, but we got it eventually. So now we can start removing what we need to on this. Now I'm going to do it, however, there is an official video from Isudar showing you exactly how to do it, so I'm going to let their video take over from here, and then when it comes back to installing it into the vehicle, we'll see how it actually performs. So we're back inside the vehicle now, having followed the complete Isudar installation guide. So these are all of the original cables, which are OEM and standard. And then what you should find is that this is what the back end of your new, or the original unit, will now look like. It looks like absolute chaos, but I'm sure it's not. One thing that they didn't mention in the video, in the installation video, is that this is the microphone cable. So you just need to plug the microphone connection into here, and then find a way to route it in and around the vehicle somewhere, probably up one of the pillars there, depending on how you want to set that up. What else? There was also a USB, which I believe is here, so you get an additional USB cable. Again, that just, once it's in there, that just needs to be sort of routed anywhere, probably in the glove box would probably be best. So what we need to do now is kind of start marrying all of these connections up with this here. And it's pretty simple actually, because they've given us like a new main connector, so that just connects into the original main connector, and then all of the original connections, they just go straight back into where they originally came out of. So I'm going to crack on with that now. Hopefully that shouldn't take too long. And now I think we're at a stage now where we can go through and start putting this back in. Not going to put it in fully, I'm just going to sort of kind of rest it in there. But what I do need to do is obviously test it first and make sure it is going to sort of work as it should. So I'll get my phone and I'll see if I can start hooking up some CarPlay. Right, so doing a test run to make sure that it does work. There are a few instructions here. So what we need to do is we need to press on the option button, and that takes us to this screen here. We'll just come off. I'm not sure what that's about just yet. I'm guessing that's for some sort of the cameras. There, so we go to settings, I think. I think this is where it turns on the CarPlay, wireless CarPlay settings. Discover and connect devices perhaps. And then I've got mine on, and it's come up here CXBT. So I'm guessing it's that one there. So it's pair, asking me to pair. Allow. So it's connecting my iPhone. So now here we are. I don't want to so I'm not sure what's happening here, because it gives the impression that it's playing, but it's actually playing the radio behind it. Right, so I've had a little bit of a play around with it, and it's working, but it can be a little bit frustrating. Let me explain how. If you wanted to, let's say for example, we've got the radio on now, which we have. Just putting the volume up there, just so you can hear the radio, okay? And let's say we wanted to now go onto the CarPlay system. So this is with the wireless connection. It might be different with the wired connection. I haven't tried that yet. So we need to press the option button, long press on the option button. It then takes us into this screen here, which I haven't quite figured what that is. But then we just need to go to the backup option, and then it comes up with your CarPlay. But if you listen, we've still got the radio on, okay? So what you need to do before you go into the CarPlay system is go into the source, go into the aux, and then long press onto option. It's going to go back into CarPlay, but you're on this screen again. No matter what I do, it doesn't really give us anything. So we need to come out of that. I'm hoping I don't have to go through that every time, but now we are on to the CarPlay. And you can then get whatever you want from that. But it's a little bit frustrating in that, you know, if I go to then radio, the radio comes back on straight away. But then if I go to flick between that and CarPlay, I get that, and then I'm still on the radio, you know, so it doesn't matter if I try and turn it on or off. So I think it's just going to be a little bit of getting used to, and also learning what you need to do in order to get the CarPlay on at any given time. It's there, but it's not instant, and it's not as the workflow isn't as great as you'd probably hope it to be. I'm going to try with the wired connection now as well. But one thing I'm going to try before I try the wired connection actually is, you can see I'm on the main screen here. See your nav. Well, we go back to that. So I'm on the main screen here where you get your, like, all of your apps. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take the key out. I'm on the passenger side, and I want to see how it starts up. I want to see if it starts up with the CarPlay. Hopefully it does, because that would save a lot of annoyance. All right, so it has. It started straight up with the CarPlay, which is good. I'm assuming you'll need the phone in the vehicle, but hopefully that's how it'll always start. So I'll pop the link to this in the description. Like I say, I paid £279, £280. So I think for the price you pay for it, yes, you're going to have to put a little bit of work in, but you'll ultimately get the CarPlay or get the Android system on your otherwise pretty lame PCM 3.1. So the car has been parked up now for probably about 4 or 5 days. So it'd be interesting to see what happens when we get in the car, to see if the CarPlay will fire up, or we have to start figuring it out and playing around with different buttons, etc. So I'll just unlock the car first of all, and then we'll get in. My phone is in my pocket, but at the minute it's unlocked. Sorry, it's locked, should I say. So I'm going to put the key in the ignition, and we'll just pop that on there. Just turn the volume down. So obviously we've got all the ignition lights on. Oh, we've come, there we go. It's just fired completely up. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn the volume off, as I say, because I don't want to get any copyright infringements. So that is generally how it should work, okay? There have been a few instances when it hasn't necessarily gone according to plan. But one time I found the Bluetooth was off on my phone because I was trying to save battery when I was out in a different country. But in most cases this should fire straight up. And then if you wanted to maybe go back to like the radio system on the PCM or your map system, it's just a case of selecting whatever you want it to go to. So let's say I wanted to go to just the radio on the actual PCM. Well, here we go. Here's the radio system. We want to go to the map system. I'm just gonna cover that up, but just show you that the map is there, just purely because I don't want to give away my location here. But then I can press the option and it goes straight back to that there. So I think for the price you pay for this tool, this kit, it's actually fantastic. Just gives you an idea of what I'm listening to at the minute. There's a common theme here, Dire Straits. It is on one of those albums, but you can go through all of your, if you go to the main screen, I'm just going to come off that a second because I don't want to give away that. Right, that's obviously the iScreen, that the main screen that everybody is accustomed to. So you get like your phone, your music, your maps, everything, your podcasts, everything you need to go along. And you've got some of the apps, whatever apps you've got on there. There might be a setting that you can do on your phone which dictates which of these options are actually coming up on the screen. But honestly, that is the best one I've come across so far. I've had PCM on my, I had the CarPlay, it was a Joyeauto on my Cayenne, and that was good, but it completely, the navigation system on it, so that the navigation system completely died. You know, I've got a system in my Cayman as well. That is, what is that one again? Ersin. That's an Ersin unit, but that has died as well. So it'll be interesting to see how this one fares over the next few months. But I've got high hopes for it because it does seem to be extremely high quality and very easy to install at a good price as well. So I am confident that this one will be the best out of the three, but time will tell, I guess. Okay guys, I'm going to pop the link to this kit in the description below this video. More videos coming on this car and in the modifications that I'll be doing on this car very soon. A car which I'm really enjoying. I think is actually looking quite good at the minute. What do you think? I've got the Carrera Classics back on, as you can see there. Sat next to my 997, which has some nice Fuchs style wheels on. I do need to change those bolts. I need to put some black ones on. It's got black ones on the front. So yeah, all good guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.